Right, so I have returned once again today to actually deliver another stream of Kamuy, the manga series. Actually, it has been a long time coming, actually, that I didn't think was such a long time ago. Ow! That was... the headphones were loud. Also, I realised I've got to change it to 261, not chapter 260. It's 261. That's the one. So yes, they're actually covering chapters hopefully from 261 to 270, and as we know, the previous volume-ish of Kamuy actually was, you know, intense. It was quite intense. It was fires all around. There was Jack the Ripper. There's also the idea of Usami dying. It was not really an idea. It's more, it actually happened. Usami actually died. He died doing what he does best, which was like, I was like, I couldn't think of a better way to go out, to be honest. So that was going down. Ogata killed him. What was the other thing to know? Ogata shot him. So actually now he's back. Though granted, still he has kind of like a glass eye though, which actually was kind of cute in a way. I thought it was kind of cute. And yeah, I mean, a lot of shit's going down. There's a lot of shit going down with goddamn Batora the Pirate as well. That's also to note as well. Shirashi might be doing something as well. Who the fuck knows? Koito doing his thing normally, isn't he? He's doing his thing. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens next. I think there might have also been kidnapping as well last volume. It's one of those things you're like, it might also be in that, because so many things, so many things happen. You're like, where do I even begin to actually like summarize everything? Like, where do I start? Because it's just it's so many things to actually say. So anyway, let's begin 261, which is still weird to me. That is actually might be the longest thing I've covered on the channel, manga-wise. I should actually cover I should actually count JoJo. So now, while everything is in turmoil, get back a sit-upper. The spectacle of Meiji-era firefighters at work. The two additional steam pumpers are here from Susukino district. We can handle things here. Send them round back. We need some men to come with us too. Hurry! The fire on the east side is getting stronger. Damn it! I guess his sit-upper already escaped, huh? He's like, good evening. I'm terribly sorry, Warrant Officer Kikuta, sir. First Lieutenant Surumi. We're making our retreat while taking care to avoid any needless confrontations with Hichikata Toshizo or Sugimoto's forces. Our top priority is to escort a sit-upper out of here. There was a kidnapping. we need to exercise the utmost caution about the sniper that killed Superior Private Usami. Someone was killed? If I were that Russian soldier, and I'll probably take a position upwind of the brewery where there's less smoke. Olafa's probably got like some crazy ass method. He's like, I know what I'm doing, bro. Don't you fucking worry. He's got 5 head moves going on. Ogata! 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 If I were Ogata, I'd probably assume that the other sniper was going to take an upwind position where the visibility is better. So Ogata is going to try and make his way around to outflank his enemy. In order to do that, he's likely going to leave the brewery moving downward, using the smoke to conceal himself. Ogata, Oh man. I miss Vasily so much. He's so cute. I love how he turns from this really, really like stern soldier to like the most cutest boy in the world. Where'd you put a sit-upper? Yeah, that's the issue with long hair. It will whip you in the face. It's kind of like you don't. It also gets you self in the eyes as well. So you kind of like, fuck, what do I do? Is this not going to be settled unless one of us is dead? fucking Falcon punched him. I'm immortal. It is very true, he is. Let's be fucking real. Sugimoto's basically immortal at this point. Like, he's basically built a JoJo character. Like, he can't fucking die. It's impossible. I surrender. Calm down, Sugimoto. If you kill him, we won't be able to find out where Siddhartha is, damn it. Damn, Sugimoto actually does have murderous intentions sometimes. Like, the man just... he like ceases all like motor functions, just turns to a cold-blooded murderer. It's like, oh. Still hot though. Siddhartha was taken from Siddhartha was taken from me by the 7th Division. Looks like we better team up again and get her back. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Was it Sergeant Tsukushima and the men who took her away? And his men took her away. Which way did they go? With these 3 skins that Kadokura was hiding along with mine, Shirashi's and Heita's skin that you've got, how about we see if we can try and solve the code? I've also got the information that the Ainu told me, right? With what we've got, we don't need Hichikata's group anymore. Who the hell would trust a guy that just hit them in the head with a shovel? we're better off with Hichikata. Let's go, Shirashi. If we're trying to forcibly take a Siddhartha, if they're trying to forcibly take a Siddhartha away, Hood guy isn't going to let them get away with it. The 7th Division can't escape this brewery. I really appreciate Ogata just using like the one. I mean, he's only got one eye, but you know what I mean. It's kind of adorable. I don't know why. I find it cute. This one of my tassels got caught. Where is it? There it is. I say, where the hell did that tassel go? Now, come out of there. What's going on here? Who are you? We're the fire brigade from the Susukino district. There we go. Oh no. They left this brewery heading north. They stole our fireproof hoods and our horse-drawn carriage with the steam pumpers loaded onto it. Shit. So that's how they snuck past Hood guy. We won't be able to catch up to them on foot. Are there any horses we can use? Sugimoto, I just found something nice in there. Oh my god. They're actually getting away in a fucking beer bottle. Hey, Potato, how can you even drive a car? The very first Sapporo beer car used both for advertisement and to sell beer, manufactured in the 40th year of the Meiji. I met this American named Eddie a little over a year ago, and we really hit it off. Oh my god! He returns! Let's go! We're taking a Siddhartha back. 261, and we're all a Siddhartha driven. Oh man. Gotta appreciate how how characters randomly just appear. It's kind of great because it's one of those things. It's kind of cool that like even the minor characters that are from arcs that leave an impression on you, they all come back in some capacity. It's actually kind of neat because, again, this manga is chock full of characters, as we'd say over here. So it's kind of cool that in some way they do in theory come back. Because otherwise it'd be kind of suckish if they just exited the entire manga. Actually wasn't mentioned ever again. And so chapter 262, the Sapporo beer car chase. With disguised Jack's body and a load of cargo. I can imagine them being like, what the fuck am I staring at? What the fuck am I staring at? That's Sugimoto and Nispa and the others. They came by bottle. Literally. Mr. Hichikata. Huh? It's Hichikata Toshizo. Slow down. Where's the Siddhartha? She was kidnapped by soldiers disguised as a fire brigade. Who may they be? Who may they be? There they are. Everyone's pretty good at drifting this manga as well, to be honest. Go, go, go! Hey, Botato, where do you think you're going? Drive straight. Are you okay, Botato? Hey, you're losing a whole lot of blood. You're looking at the gallant figure of a man who's going to be king. Make sure not to look away so you'll remember every second, Shirashi. And don't ever forget it. There's someone in pursuit. We'll make us stand here and drive them back. They're in a bottle, fucking hell. They're in a bottle. You won't be able to drive them back. Go on ahead, Lieutenant Tsurumi. Keep them tied down here. Fire! Shit, stop! You have to remember sometimes it's actually a very serious manga, but then randomly Noda's just kind of like, fuck it, we'll have a chase in a bottle. Literally. Go. They split up. Each of those guys on horseback was holding a big bag. Which we go after. The horses are a lot faster, so he must have had one of those riders trying to escape with a Siddhartha. If he still had her on the steam pumper, there's no way he would break up his escort like that. No. I said Tsurumi expects us to think that. That's the kind of guy he is. Hichikata Toshizo went after the other horses. Okay, we're going after that steam pumper. I can't shoot a driver with that pump in the way. I'll pull up next to them. I mean, if you're actually able to snipe someone while also snipe, but rifle someone, I guess, while also being driven like that at quite a large amount of miles per hour, fucking impressive. Oh shit, most intentions coming back. Oh no, the pirate got shot in the stomach. The man's gonna be dead by the end of the whole entire arc. The poor dude. Whoa, we're gonna hit the wall. Just hold on, Bataro. Where were you hit? Oh damn. Oh, Kikuta's actually out now. We have now 4 guns to deal with, not just the 1 or 2. Well, actually no, 3. Sorry, not 4. I can't count. But the pirate just being like, yo, I can fucking take any shot. Once again, a JoJo character. Is it gonna be one of those Botaro? It's gonna be one of those cases where the character's gonna be dead, but then randomly he's like, hey guys, how's it going? I'm actually alive. It doesn't seem like they can follow us anymore, sir. Very well. 262 end. Sugimoto's here and he's angry. Once again, it's the age-old bit from last time. Oh, they came by bottles. Actually, a reference to the meme from way back when we came by bicycle. That's actually quite cool. They should keep that in the actual anime should they ever adapt it, which I don't know if they're going to, considering I've heard like things about season 4 like happening at some point. Kind of hoping it does because I actually absolutely adore the next arc, so it's one of those things I really do hope they bring it back. It'd be nice to actually have both JoJo and Golden Kamuy back at the same time. Pursuers. 7th Division is this guy's plan is shot. Yo! It's the man himself. 263, Osawa Fusatoru, also known as Botaro the Pirate. Botaro the Pirate. The vicious vice commander in pursuit. It's like there's no like it's like universal law that every single time Hichikata Toshizo appears in any sort of media, he's actually badass. Gintama, this. I think that there's a load of other ones as well. Is he in one of the visual novels as well, if I remember correctly? Also Fate, I think. Yeah, in Fate as well. Is he one of the Otome visual novels, if I remember correctly? I can't remember. Barley. So this one was the decoy then. Whoa! Kikuta's like, oh fuck! I didn't actually anticipate him jumping on our carriage. My precious Nagant. Is that how you pronounce it correctly? Sugimoto the Immortal. That's really dangerous for Tsurumi. Yeah, dangerous is their middle name, to be honest. What the hell came over you, Botaro? Normally you'd have been happy to let me take all those bullets for you. It wasn't like you at all. Ah, man, I really fucked up. Since I saved you, you better not forget me, Shirashi. Tell your children. The reason why you even exist is thanks to Osawa Fusatoru, also known as Botaro the Pirate. Yeah. And you gotta make something of yourself, damn it. You can't end your life as nothing more than an escape king. I got it, Botaro. I understand. Huh? What? Is that the info you got from the Ainu? That's where it is? That's the place where the Ainu first gathered up all the gold? Oh, fuck's sake. Now we've got to wait. This is gonna be like, Arrivederci, my dude. You were fucking awesome and quite hot as well. On the hot scale, you were up there. But I miss Botaro Pirate. He was like one of the best. I won't forget you. Osaka. Fusatoru, also known as Botaro Pirate. He's already forgotten his name. He actually remembered it as it's Osawa. But he actually remembered it as yeah. So he's remembered it. He's remembered it as Osaka, not Osawa. Also known as Botaro the Pirate. I actually appreciate that. Immediately after he dies, I won't forget you and gets his name wrong. Oh, can I set up her back? I send all you bastards straight to hell. Go ahead then. They'll be rolling out the red carpet for me. Not wrong. It's not wrong, to be honest. Huh? Mr. Kikuta? Huh? Wait. So, Sugimoto the Immortal? Was that Vagrant? It's Vagrant, isn't it? Vagrant boy? I was gonna say, it wouldn't be surprising if everyone actually has a history together, to be honest, at this point in time. Considering literally every single character in like Golden Kamuy, like, if there's a chart for like all the characters connected to each other in this manga, I think pretty much every single person's connected at this point. Oh, a Sirapa! Gimoto. Does it look like we're being pursued? Alright, and let's follow the plan and head to the rendezvous point. Sugishima! Someone followed us. Oh! Sophia! 263 end. A purpose was sent down from heaven. So they're rolling out the red carpet for me. This line from Kikuta that surprises Sugimoto is almost exactly the same as the line he himself said back in chapter 2, when Sirpa told him about how bears that kill people go to hell. The implication seems to be that Sugimoto originally picked up saying when he was younger after hearing it from Kikuta. Yeah, and also is the fact that Botaro the Pirate's name is actually said wrong. It's like it's a thing. It's actually a joke. It's actually quite cool. Right, so 264. Let's go. Happy New Year. Well, this actually happened in January. We're actually catching up to 2021 now at this point. Chapter 264, the woman he saw at the hospital in Otaru. Harasho. She split them up. Now fire! Take them out before the other Japanese soldiers gather here. Cover me, Nikaido. I'm going to move around to flank them. Yes, sir. Hey, Nikaido's here, isn't he? Oh! Oh. Asirapa! Good lord, everyone can't like go 5 seconds of actually bleeding in this manga either. It is a JoJo part at this point. What the hell is this woman? Well, what in the hell is this woman? Go call our comrades. They should be nearby, or even that main force, even the main force in Otaru. Huh? This woman was speaking Russian. Those two aren't Japanese. Their rifles are Swiss made too. I saw her at the hospital in Otaru. Did they chase us all the way from Akao prison? Akao prison? Akao? That's Oko prison, isn't it? It'd be Oko prison. It's Oko prison? It's either Oko prison or Akao prison. They're probably after Sidipa as well, but they definitely got a serious grudge against us. Should we kill her before she wakes up? No, load her on the steam pumper, or take her prisoner and get some information out of her. If these are Kyoranka's allies, then there's sure to be many more of them. The barracks at Tsukisamu is still some distance away, which puts us at risk. Change our plans. We'll hide Sidipa somewhere nearby for the time being. Hurry. So is that a good plan? I don't know. Sugimoto, hop on! Nice rush, let's go. Nice rush, let's go. Faster, faster. What the hell are you doing, Shirashi? That cat is passing us. Get in the back, Shirashi, I'll drive. Do you even know how? How do you make this thing speed up? Okay. It looks like you've got to push down the clutch, the pedal on the left, while you work the throttle, the lever by your hand to make it go. Sorry, Botaru. I'll put him in the back. Hey, Shirashi, that guy with the 2 pistols, did you see him before? I'm not sure. I only remember if I sent through me. Botaru did he say anything at the end? He told me to give up on the whole Escape King thing and settle down. He said, tell your kids about me. He always say all that crazy stuff about wanting to be a king, but all he really wanted was to get back the family he lost, and all he really wanted was to get back the family he lost and a home he could return to. So, Vagrant Boy, what'd you call home? So in the end, you didn't get any of the info out of him. No, he told me all right. I was gonna say it'd be a bit weird if you actually didn't open up with the whole. By the way, I actually know a lot more about the Ainu secret now. Koito, Tsukishima, and Kikuta will go out to search for the other soldiers who were separated from us. Don't return to the church until you've eliminated all pursuers. Those men are guerrillas who fought against the Russian Empire. Whatever you do, don't underestimate them. Until the reinforcements arrive from Asahikawa, we'll remain in hiding here. Ophia, that's not Surumi. I found this in the woman's belongings. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh, terribly sorry. Sometimes a bit of odd fluid will leak out. So 264 end. So, terribly sorry. These lines were said by Surumi way back in chapter 13 when he was meeting Captain Wada, whose fingers he then bit off. You can see the panel in the question below. Oh yeah, God, it's been 13 since that's such a long time ago. Oh shit, we're actually now getting the actual event. The fucking event that was mentioned in season 3. So 265 keyhole. 7th Division has made it through the deadly battle. The 4 soldiers who were on foot have reached the rendezvous point. The 3 men on horseback who split off should have arrived a long time ago. Let's split up and look for them. Watch out for those partisans guys too. Please stay here. Please stay here, Second Lieutenant Koito. The three of them might show up, or still the three of them might show up. Not will show up. Might show up. Mr. Hichikato, you're all right. We're getting a setup back. Find the 7th Division. We're going after Sophia. Everyone's got a plan here. Everyone's got a fucking plan. I sensed Surumi's reaction when he looked at the picture that woman was carrying. I wonder what he's going to talk to her about. I'm incredibly curious. Side entrance. What the hell do you think you're doing? What are you sneaking around trying to snoop it on for Surumi? I could ask you the same thing. You went on about I believe in first tense Surumi, so you believe in me, and here you are not believing in him at all. No, I do believe in him. Don't just go assuming that all on your own. Then why is it that you were able to talk normally when first tense Surumi was little? Then why was it that you were able to talk normally with first tense Surumi a little while ago? Up until now, you can only speak to him in that rapid-fire Satsuma dialect. Could it be because without being aware of it, you stopped being able to trust in him? And distance grew between you and your heart. Nikaido, stand by outside and keep watch out on the church. It'll be far too obvious if you're standing in front of the church, so hide somewhere nearby. Even when Koito and the others return, they need to keep away from the church. Fortify defenses so that we can't be surrounded. Yes, sir. Main entrance. We already checked that there wasn't anybody in the church. Is he about to talk about something that he doesn't want? Is he about to talk about something that he doesn't want any of his subordinates to hear? Is it gonna be the event? Is it gonna be the fucking event? Cool shot. Cool fucking shot, that is. Asirapa. I removed the gag, but you mustn't shout. I'd rather not treat you roughly if I can help it. Very good then. The headband on your forehead that truly suits the brave and beloved child of the Ainu. I'm glad that we were able to meet again, Asirapa, since we didn't have nearly enough time talking Karafuto. And Sophia, Golden Hand. I always thought that we would get another chance to meet. Who are you? I suppose it's no surprise. We have both changed after all. It's been what, 18 years? Can you remember who I am? Miss Zoya? I wonder if you've forgotten about my family too. All the photographs were burned up on that day, unfortunately. So the only proof that the two of them ever existed are these finger bones. My daughter Olga. And my wife Fina. Mr. Hasegawa? Thank you so much for remembering. That photo, is that Aka and Kuraranka Nispa? Was that picture taken in Russia? I said Surumi had a wife and daughter? Oh shit. What? After his death, we recovered some letters from Kuraranka's personal belongings. Letters from his correspondence with Sophia while she was in Akko prison. With what I know and what you learned through the letters from Kuraranka, how about we pull our knowledge and tell Asirapa everything? Who killed the Ainu? Why did Wilk have to die? Now, what do you say? Let's take away this child's pain, shall we? 265 end. Let's talk about our memories of the past. They actually did a Terminator meme as well. I just realised that. God, just oh god, that's good. Right, now we're actually heading into the good. Now we're heading into like the dank shit. Now this is the dank shit. People still say the word dank when it comes to like shit. It's like, oh boy, it's just some good shit. I when still keeps it going, or has Kino replaced it? I don't know. I always wondered that because I never hear people ever say the word dank or stuff like that anymore. It's more like, this is some kinography, bro. Is there anything still working? I've got sometimes actually update. I've got sometimes go in and out of what's it call it? Of YouTube to see if everything's still working, because sometimes the internet does tend to just cease to exist. So Russia, in search of memories. Vladivostok, 1897, 30th year of the Meiji, not of the Meiji, or Meiji era. 266, pinky finger bones. Do you know what Vladivostok means? Yes, the name means rule of the East, sir. God damn it, fucking Surumi is actually pretty hot. What the fuck? it's the one and only port in the Russian Far East that doesn't freeze. A military port that can be used all year round. It's strategically a vital point for Japan as well, and Central has been saying in no uncertain terms that conquering Vladivostok will be a necessity, not necessary, a necessity if it comes to war. Are you Japanese? Do you know a man named Hasegawa? He disappeared without a trace some 6 years ago. Sorry, can you speak more slowly? The bodies of his wife and daughter. Lieutenant Tsurumi? Where in the world did he go? Oh shit. Hasegawa photograph. That's the name of that old man was talking about. To think that a Japanese person would open up a photo studio in a place like this. The old guy mentioned something about that man's wife and daughter. Was he somebody you knew, sir? No. There are thousands and thousands of Japanese people living in Vladivostok's Japanese district. He must have been just some odd fellow who wants to open his shop away from the Japanese district. Hasegawa. If I remember correctly, wasn't Hasegawa your mother's maiden name, sir? When I went with you to pay respects to her grave in Niigata, I think. You got quite an excellent memory, Tsukishima. It's a fairly common family name in Niigata. So that Hasegawa was first sent Tsurumi then. About 50 years ago, some of the more extremist Ainu gathered up a great quantity of gold dust and were planning something. The Ainu intended to get a captain in the Imperial Russian Navy to secretly divert some Russian warship munitions and the like to sell to them, which the Ainu would then use to start a rebellion against the shogunate. The soldiers who are stationed far from the central command deciding to run wild and do whatever they want. Well, I suppose it's the same anywhere in the world. But right before the deal was about to take place, the warship carrying that captain along with the Russians who were a part of the negotiations crashed into a passenger ship in the sea near Vladivostok, sinking and taking with it everyone on board. That was the Russian warship Kalevala incident of 1867. Having lost their way to use the gold, the Ainu must have felt at a total loss about what to do next. Asida's father Wilk then came to Hokkaido in search of the gold. You could say that was the start of all of this. So the man at the photo studio in Russia who taught you an arc of Japanese, that was President Tsurumi. On that day, I was the only one the secret police were after. If my wife hadn't picked up that poster, she wouldn't have come back. If my wife hadn't picked up the poster, she wouldn't have come back. But even before that, if you three hadn't chosen my photo studio, then my wife and daughter might have not have been killed in Vladivostok. During the war, we had to give up on controlling Vladivostok because of various factors. Say factories, just then factors. For so long as Manchuria remains effectively a part of Japan, your bones will rest in Japanese soil. Saying we must expand our territory into the Far East for the sake of the Japanese prosperity was for the goal of making certain that our comrades sleep in Japanese soil. That's what it should have been. That's what it should have meant. But that's Tsurumi's true goal. Don't tell me that it's just his own personal way of mourning his wife and daughter by making Vladivostok, where they died, into a part of Japan. That couldn't be it, right? What purpose does my wife and daughter serve in this world? I'd like for you to tell these bones. The letters you got from your bars while you were in Ako prison told you what happened in Hokkaido, did they not? Then can you please tell me, Fina and Olga sacrificed their lives because of you, and what exactly do any of you have to show for it? What possible value could there be in asking her about that now after all this time? Yulba's letters. Wilk changed because Siddhartha was born. God fucking damn it, that was so fucking good, holy shit. Oh man, it's the good shit. Oh god, I love this manga so much. This manga is so fucking good. That guy we just saw was Second Lieutenant Koito, right? Yeah, no doubt about it. He went into that church. Asita's got to be in there. Should we bust in there and save her? No, let's bring Hichikato and the others with us. With disadvantage rushing in there with only one rifle. We don't know how many of them are inside. I'm sure they've got guards standing watch outside too. If we don't hurry, we won't know what Sensumi is willing to do to get her to tell him the solution to the tattoo code. You can't rely on the info you get with torture. Knowing him, he'll take his time and back her into a corner. Very different actually what's actually truly going on. We don't know that though. Back in Karafuto, something seemed odd about President Tsurumi. Oh yeah, that's right. You're the only one who wants to rush in there more than anyone. Alright, then, let's go gather reinforcements. 266 end. The law of inertal. I learned that in science class. I was gonna hope they were gonna make a reference to initial D just then, but alas. So, law of inertia, also known as Newton's first law, this states that the object in motion will remain emotionless acted upon by a net external force. It is also sometimes called the law of Botaro's revenge. So, for so long as this flashback from chapter 150, as you can see, the wording is slightly different between that chapter and the current one. Specifically, Noda added the word effectively. I'm not sure if this had any important meaning, as Noda often slightly changes the wordings of lines when he shows them again in flashbacks. Well, now this is going places, isn't it? Now we actually know Tsurumi's actual true intentions, which is actually kind of like, it's very it kind of goes back to the whole entire idea that every single person's purpose in manga actually is to a degree selfish. Like, not this, it's selfish in the grand scheme of things, that it's to do with them rather than besides the whole entire like prospect of the Ainu and actually what happens to them after this. A lot of the other reasons for why people are doing what they're doing is effectively kind of their own personal goal. But at the same time, with Tsurumi's one, it's very different feeling. It's more familial, and it actually kind of tells you that he does have a heart. That is one of those things that you didn't know it was there, because let's be real, he's crazy. So you didn't really expect him to actually kind of have this side of him. But no, the actual loss of his wife affects him so goddamn much, and his child as well, that he still to this day wants to actually bury them in Japanese soil. So I kind of do like that change in perspective as well. So now we kind of have a completely different feeling for this manga. Because beforehand, it was like, well, he was doing it for a lot of different reasons, possibly the prosperity of Japan, in a sense of like, with the goal to actually then have weapons and everything like that. But now clearly it's very different. That was just one thing that was said way back when. Now it's like, well, actually. So I like that. I do actually like that. Sophia, maybe it would be better to talk about this after we meet, but it's too soon for Sophia to hear this. So I'm writing it down in this letter. Let's fill in the blanks. What can I separate after coming over to Hokkaido? And the plan to live among the Ainu and gather information about the buried gold. In order to adapt himself even more to life as an Ainu, Wilt got married and had a daughter. It's kind of crazy how much all of this actually has just kind of like come full circle in a way as well. I gave her all my love, entrusted her with the future, and left behind a duty for her. 267 severed. When Wilk was holding a Siripa, I saw a look of gentleness in his face that I'd never seen before. Several years later, rumors started going around. By chance, someone had discovered an old man who everyone thought had died many years ago from smallpox. He'd been living all by himself deep in the mountains. The old man named Kimisupu, correct? Kimisupu was one of the men who gathered the gold dust 50 years ago and tried to use it to buy weapons from the Russians. He was someone who knew very well where the gold was buried. In the 35 years of Meiji, 1902, at around that same time, we also got our hands on that information. It was that man being spotted. That caused things to take a big step forward. Nobody Betsu. God, it's been so goddamn long since I believe you actually being Nobody Betsu. Actually, when you met the old man, you weren't able to ask him about the location of the gold, right? He didn't speak to me. Let's convince him to tell us. Is there anybody other than the 7 of us who know about Kimi Spoo? I spoke about it with several people, but I didn't tell them where I saw him. He was living deep in the mountains without anyone knowing. He won't be found that easily. Will we even be able to find him right away if we go looking? I know where he set his arrow traps. If we wait there, we'll be able to meet him. Alright, let's hurry up and find the old man before someone beats us to it. Wilk, why didn't you call me? You guys go on ahead. You guys go on ahead. What's going on here? Explain yourself right now, Wilk. We should change our plan. There's simply too much land for the ethnic minority groups to protect an entire Far Eastern Federation from the Russian Empire all by themselves. We'll be better off creating an independent Hokkaido instead. With the ocean surrounding us, we can strengthen our defenses here. I've changed my thinking, and now I believe this way is the better way. You're saying this now? Do you understand what they were talking about, Sinipa? Oh god, we got like context central now. Context central. The Far East of Russia, where various ethnic minority groups live in the God damn it, I almost said it again. Amur River Basin area, the island of Karafuto and Hokkaido. Each of them would declare independence from either Russia or Japan, and unite to become one country. That was the Far Eastern Federation that Sophia and Kyoranki were promoting. In contrast to that, Wilk's idea was to focus power exclusively in Hokkaido so that they could be defended. That was the difference between the two. Unlike Hokkaido, which can only be attacked by ship, the Federation would share land borders with its neighbours, making it quite difficult to defend against invasions. I can understand Wilk's argument. So you're just going to betray them. You're going to turn your back on our people who live in Karafuto and the Russian Far East. You don't care about what happens to them. Anyone who wants to is welcome to immigrate here. We'll encourage people to immigrate all over Hokkaido. The various ethnic groups Wait, my brain's stopping. We'll encourage people to immigrate, and all over Hokkaido, the various ethnic groups can live their lives while continuing to follow their own gods and cultures. What the hell are you saying, Wilk? The reason why the village you were born in vanished is because the people there abandoned the lands they were familiar with and moved somewhere else. I understand the reason why the Karafuto Ainu immigration failed. All we had to do is avoid making those same mistakes again. What will happen to the old God, I can't pronounce that word. It's got an I. Ueta then? It's too warm in Hokkaido for them to raise reindeer. How do you think they can come to Hokkaido while still following their own culture? In the end, immigration will only be immigration would only be for those who want it. Isn't it just that you don't care about what happens to the minority groups living in Russia? Minority groups living in Russia. I was gonna say, did I say it right? I said it right. And you really only want to live as a Hokkaido Ainu to protect your daughter's future. I'm simply choosing the more realistic path. Hokkaido never had anything to do with us in the first place, but you made yourself a loving family here, and now this is turned into your homeland. A fight to protect the surviving remnants of the ethnic groups, or your feelings for those you love. It's simply the difference between the goals you put forth to the world and those you feel deep inside. Neither of them is a lie. Right now, Sophia is still waiting for us in Russia, damn it. The reason why I killed Uncle Nispa got that angry, the Russian ethnic minority groups were a part of it, but it was also because he had feelings for you, Sophia. Sophia. I understood that very well. So I think maybe that's why he kept his distance from Kyoranka Nispa. Wilk walked away and left without killing me. The old Wilk surely would have killed someone who was set to one day become a hindrance to his goals. The old rational Wilk surely would have. Just as I thought, Wilk had changed. The Wilk I had once loved wasn't there anymore. I trusted and loved that Wilk from the bottom of my heart. 267 end. So I trusted and loved that Wilk. This final line is what Kyoranka said back in chapter 183, telling the story of how Wilk chose to kill an injured comrade who had given their position away. That was Kyoranka's example of Wilk being his old rational self. Well, shit. Because this is getting spicy. This is getting fucking spicy. Holy fucking shit. This is a spicy manga now. Right, so 268. So the memories of the tiger, this nation of the wolf, the path of these two fierce beasts have diverged. When Wilk walked away and left me there, now that I think about it, those ended up being his last words to me. I'm praying for Sidipa's happiness. Instead of my daughter having others fight for her and living her life someplace safe without feeling any sense of responsibility, I want her to become someone who chooses the difficult and thorny path of her own will and tries to grasp happiness with her own two hands. Just like Sophia. I pray for happiness she would grab with her own hands. Chapter 268, a single poison arrow. It's the kind of person Akka was. If he was making everyone fight to protect the future of the Ainu, then he would have felt that he needed to put his daughter at the forefront of that battle. That's true. If all he wanted was to protect his family, then he could have simply had them live quietly, hidden away somewhere far from the battle. Then we would forget the Ainu language and the Kamuy. We'd forget all of it. By having everything that is useful to our daily lives be a Kamuy. The stories of the Kamuy that are passed down from parent to child, they teach us the ways that we used to live our lives here in these lands. If we forget that Kamuy, then the Ainu will disappear too. Well then, let me tell you about the miserable end that awaited Wilk and those other Ainu who were fighting so bravely to protect that Kamuy. Oh shit. Holy fuck. After their split with Kyoranka, Wilk and the others went searching for the old man who knew the location of the gold. And at the same time, we finally tracked down the original source of the information about the old man. It was a man named Ciro Maka. He had been the one who first spotted the old man, and he joined Wilk and the others in their search for the gold. It's a superb carving. This is the design that had been passed down in my family. I'm going to send it to my son in the army, so that he doesn't forget about the Ainu. If you're planning to go look for that old man, you're too late. I'm sure that the Ainu men have found that gold by now. It's been over a month since we caught up to the old man after all. But why aren't you out there with them? Because I felt I couldn't go along with their old ways of their ways of doing things. At first, the old man adamantly refused to tell us where the gold was hidden. He said that the gold ought to remain buried right where it is, and it's cursed. And some of the more short-tempered men lost their patience and started making threats. The old man had a grandson, and I believe a younger brother somewhere in Hokkaido. They said that if he didn't tell them where the gold was, they'd find those two and harm them. I couldn't forgive that, so I left and came back here by myself. Did you hear the location of the gold yourself then? No, I didn't. I left before they got the information out of him. Mr. Rico. Yeah, I was gonna say. I know that you and your son both show the utmost dedication in helping us with the recovery of the bodies lost in the Hakone Hakoda Mountains, and I have no doubt that you'll feel deep pride in your son who joined the 7th Division. I believe that your decision to no longer lend a hand to those who plotted to divide the Japanese and the Ainu tree was a wise one. I completely understand how they feel. In our region, we have mostly positive relations with the Japanese, but it's undeniable that there are those in other regions who have deep hatred of them. I cooperated in hopes that there was a way to use the gold without spilling blood, but those 6 in particular are stubborn, difficult men, and their relationship isn't a very deep one. They're united only by their shared extreme ideology towards the Japanese. Yet one man was able to bring them together with incredibly deft touch. For example, this happened once. I take a bit of water because God, there's a lot of reading in these chapters. So it really is true that Ainu from Saro eat dirt. Chetoi, earth that we eat. We've been eating this in our villages for generations. If you go around eating dirt, the Japanese are gonna say it's a cow and a dog and mock you. Yeah, that's right. So what's your point? Spending all your time trembling with worry about what the Japanese will think. I'd say you guys are a lot more pathetic. Was that you bastard? You want to fight? Chetoi is what's called Daitoma, Chaos, Earth. It's made up of the fossils of diatoms and kind of algae like kombu. You're an Ainu from Asahikawa and Nemuro, right? Go hiccups now. Fuck. You can't find diatomachus Earth in these areas, so it's no surprise that you wouldn't know. Areas with deposits of diatomachus Earth, Asahikawa and Nemuro. Oh, well, you know, didn't know about that. There's plenty of nutrition, you know, nutrition, you know. The Karafuto Ainu also eat it quite often. It has been eaten by various people around the world, such as the Native Americans. Even the Japanese used to eat it. There was a Japanese man I was acquainted with a long time ago, and he told me that warlords in the old days would build their walls of their castles out of diatomachus Earth, so they could eat from the walls if they were besieging their castle. Wow, you sure know a lot. You really are amazing. You really are an amazing guy. The scar. That scar. Discrimination is born from ignorance. At the very least, the Ainu should understand each other and come together as one. Every one of us acknowledged and trusted him. There had never been anyone who could bring together and lead the Ainu from all different regions. So there's a man of that caliber here. What village is he from? I couldn't say for sure. Bihoro maybe? Or was it Sapporo? In any case, he's an Ainu who came from Karafuto. What is his name? Everyone calls him Wilk. He has blue eyes and a scar on his face. So he's become involved with my life again after all. So I shot a single poison arrow aimed at Wilk. Oh! Well, I guess also poison arrow could be a metaphorical sense as well. What was passed as a guerrilla fighting against the Russian Empire? Did he come clean and reveal that all to you? He was searching for resources to fund revolutionary activities in Russia, which is why he came to Hokkaido in search of the Ainu gold. Yeah, it's a metaphorical meaning behind it, not that. Oh yeah, by the way, I shot a fucking arrow into him. It's a metaphorical meaning. We kept watch outside for a short while, and soon we saw Riko and Shiromaka rush out in panic. When he told us I didn't hear the location of the gold, that was a lie. And now he was headed to the Ainu. And I knew he had left in order to tell them Wilk's true identity. Fuck. There we go. We've lost sight of him. I can't believe how dark these mountain trails get at night. That Ainu is incredibly quick at getting around out here. Well, nobody was able to keep up with the Ainu in Hakoda Mountains after all. That's gunfire. At dawn, we found one of the men at death's door. He had run this far, but he was at the end of his strength. Did Wilk do this to you? No, he didn't do anything. Everyone started killing each other. Holy fucking shit. Oh my god. This is fucking intense. Those who wanted to defend Wilk and those who didn't, they fought and killed each other. It was thanks to their trust in Wilk that their relationship maintained its delicate balance. My poison arrow caused that to crumble. As for Wilk, he realized that whoever had revealed his past to Ariko Shiramaka was going to come after him, following on Ariko's heels. So he said, Tsurumi, over here, sir. Holy fuck. He cut off his own. He cut off his own face and put it on someone else's severed head, and faked his own death. And now it all makes sense. It's all coming through now. 268 end. The beautiful blue-eyed wolf had completed his transformation into Noporobu. Yeah, now we actually had Noporobu. So it took all this goddamn long, but we actually finally got it. Oh man. And Tsuri was the cause of it all. Oh my fucking god. Oh fuck yeah, I love this manga so much. It's so fucking good. Oh my god, 269. Nice. I think it's the last chapter of the stream as well, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's the last chapter of the stream. So Tsurumi shot a single poison arrow. Was Wilt killed too? Are there any survivors? He didn't. Hey, don't go dying on me yet. Ah, damn it. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you, like, the concept of, like, tearing your own face off and then just, like, doing all that's fucking vile. That's some wacky shit. There was supposed to be 7 Ainu, right? Then who chopped up the bodies? Whoops. All these heads have their skin cut off and their skinned heads swapped around. They've got no eyes either. Holy fucking shit! Most likely one of those skinned heads belongs to Kimuspu. Wilk and the others must have kept him with them the entire time until they found the gold. So Kimuspu was also a part of that deadly battle. There were 8 Ainu. He used the corpse of Kimuspu, whose very existence wasn't well known, to fake his own death, and he removed the eyes because his own eyes are so distinct. Then one man saw it all and murdered every single Ainu guarding it. 69 Wilk's way of doing things. Holy fucking shit! The gold partners and hunters are all panners and hunters all starting to gather around. They heard that shots last night. Usame, go to the health resort facility at Noboribetsu and call for reinforcements. Kikuta, secure this area. As for myself, I'm going to pursue Wilk. What is it, Sergeant Kikuta? How should we tell this to Private Ariko Rikimatsu? If he found out that we were involved in his father's death, then there's no need to tell him at all, right? We just gave them Wilk's true identity, and the group tore itself apart. That's all. Our plan relied on that group tearing itself apart. Fucking god. There's a Rico Ipote. To cut off your own face, what incredible resolve, and also it's fucking vile. In this situation, Wilk was unlikely to be able to avoid being labelled the one responsible for the Ainu murders. And Zipper, who would be left behind, how would she be treated by the Ainu society? And what of Kyoranke? Did Wilk assume that if he appeared to have died, and Kyoranke would see that he had lost his one link to the gold and give up? Even if they had arrived at the conclusion, any normal person would have spent days agonizing over cutting their own face off. And in the end, they still wouldn't have been able to bring themselves to do it. But Wilk arrived at his decision in the shortest possible time and immediately put it into action. The only major oversight in his plan was that I was the one pursuing him. Mr. Hasegawa. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. This fucking manga. Holy shit. God, it's just like, it's like a fucking puzzle that you didn't know had missing pieces, and then you're like, holy fucking shit, it's, what? It just completely changes the perspective completely. The buildings meant to keep laborers confined, what are called prison lodges, located close to Lake Shikotsu. Some convicts who had been sent there illegally from a prison were staying there. For information I was able to obtain afterwards, it seems that Wilk escaped into one of those lodges. And he's naked. Who is your boss? Inudo Shirosuke. Inudo's come back! Give his message to Warden Inudo. There are 7 Ainu who were killed at location roughly 20 kilometers south of here. Tell him that you have a man here who knows location where the Ainu hid their gold. For many years now, the 7th Division and those who ran the prisons had felt mutual animosity towards each other. So the men at the prison lodge, under Warden Inudo's orders, transported Wilk to the prison under the utmost secrecy. And so Wilk became Noporobu of Abashiri prison. Oh my fucking god. Ah! That was what Kyoranka Nispa... Then what was Kyoranka Nispa doing at that time? Nispa Kyoranka originally, but for some reason that's my brain just went Nispa Kyoranka, not Kyoranka Nispa. It was to go after Wilk. I was looking at the old man and Kimuspu. He was thought to be somewhere in the area near Noboribetsu and Tamakomai. I was in the middle of doing that when I heard about the huge commotion caused by the discovery of the bodies of the 7 Ainu. The problem is, the other thing to note is whether or not I truly believe what Surumi's actually saying. Granted, still, there's a possibility that there's like no doubt because of the animosity he feels towards Wilk and also Sophia as well. I don't know, it's one of those things. It makes sense the actual like origins of Noporobu now, like of also Wilk, to be honest. It's like it all makes sense. But at the same time it's one of those things of being like, no, I gotta sit on this one for a little while, bro. Wilk. If that's my own family, would I understand how Wilk felt? When I returned from the war of Russia, I heard a certain rumor. Kimuspu was one of those 7 Ainu bodies. There was an Ainu who was testifying to that. Ainu men who used to put a tattoo on either left or their right hand so they would be successful when hunting. Those tattoos are rare nowadays. You're only likely to see one on the hands of old men in the eastern part of Hokkaido. Kimuspu had those tattoos on both of his hands. Normally he kept them hidden under his hand covers, because when people saw them they would mock him and say that it's because he had a huge family to feed. I had assumed that Wilk and others had left their old man behind after they got the location of the gold from him. But there weren't just 7 Ainu men in search of the gold. Kimuspu was there with them. So those Ainu hadn't all been killed by some other person. Then Hijikata Toshizo came looking for a Siddhartha. The rumors about Noporobu in Abashiri prison, the tattoo code, could it be that Noporobu was actually Wilk? And now we're actually got to the point in which he actually dies. I also now had a family that I love, but didn't arrive at the same conclusion as Wilk did. If we use the gold for Far Eastern Federation, wouldn't that protect the Hokkaido Ainu too? Thinking about the lives of my Ainu sons, even more if he was worried about Siddhartha's future, barricading yourself away and trying to build up a defense is a weak, pathetic way of fighting. It would never win against the Russian Empire or the Meiji government. He really had changed after all. Wilk was a wolf within the pack who had gone weak. The way of the wolves that I was sure Wilk had once admired. I followed that and did Wilk the kindness of killing him. 269 end. And so the tiger who had once admired the wolf so deeply buried that wolf for the wolf's own sake. Holy fucking shit. Oh man, I've got to like... There's the way of the wolves. Kiranka here was making a reference to the story of Wilk's past that Sophia tells us in chapter 183. The story about how a weakened wolf was killed by its own pack because they saw that it would slow him down. Kiranka said at the time that he didn't know the story, but it's obvious that he had heard Wilk mention his admiration for wolves and their way of doing things. Incidentally, so don't be ruminating on how quickly Wilkes reached the agonizing decision to cut off his own face. It's a very similar wording to Sophia in the same chapter, talking about Wilkes making the difficult decision to kill one of their comrades. Oh my fucking god. 270. My brain is just like, oh my god, this manga has actually destroyed my brain. What's gonna happen next volume? Jesus Christ. What's gonna happen here? Where's old man Hichikata and the others? I don't know exactly, but they're searching the area for Siddhartha. I might just see a message in a bottle. I don't feel like we can risk it with only two of us who can fight. Shit. Well, but while we were busy doing this, Siddhartha can't fight. Do you know where Siddhartha is? It looks like First Minister Sirumi is keeping her in a church. We don't know how many men he's got in there, and I'm sure he's got guards posted outside too. I'll go in there and check things out. If the situation permits it, I'll grab a slipper and run. It's actually kind of a bad time to do it, because I get a lot of, like, story. Are you going to be okay? Those guys don't trust you, right? To be totally honest, we don't really know whose side you're on either. Asipra is still so small, yet she's thought far more seriously about the Ainu than I ever have. Realizing that made me feel ashamed. That's why I want to help her. 7th Division, Hichikata's group and Central. For whose sake is he acting? Alright, I'm betting on you, Ipopte. Get ready to drive that thing as fast as it goes. 270, the cause of it all. Oh fuck! So what about Kiranka Nispa's fingerprints supposedly being found on the murdered Ainu's belongings? Was that a lie you told Ikarama in order to get her to feed information about our movements to you? She was using us in order to close the book on her past. I'd say we used each other, wouldn't you? What do you think is the cause of all this then? If Wilk had been honest and come clean about his identity, those 7 Ainu wouldn't have killed each other. To take it even further, if he hadn't crossed over to Japan in search of the Hokkaido Ainu gold, then Kiranka too. To take it further still, Fina and Olga too. Fina was a woman with a very sharp intuition. I think she realized that I wasn't just an ordinary Japanese resident in Russia. The fact that she didn't leave me despite that was because she believed, at least, in my love for her. When Fina was dying, I felt that I wanted her to know my real name. That wasn't a confession of betrayal or anything like that. It was because as a woman with her sharp intuition, I believed my wife would understand. The fact that I've kept their bones with me to this day makes me a failure as a soldier tasked with being an intelligence operative. He loved his family and that made him weak. Put it that way. I feel that I can somewhat understand Wilk, but thank you for telling me what you know, Sophia. To show my gratitude, let me tell you something that I'm sure you'll appreciate. I'll free you from your many years of guilt. My daughter Olga, this is the bullet I found in her head. That's right. This bullet didn't come from the bird and rifle you were carrying at the time, nor did it come from the machine gun that your boss was using. This is a bullet from a pistol. The secret police were using a Smith and Wesson Russians. Those 44 rounds, which are a little larger than this, Wick was using a Schmidt M1882 revolver, which uses 7.5mm rounds, which means Walker is the one who shot my wife and daughter. Holy fucking shit! Oh my god. Olga and Fina were killed by your father, Sidipa. Sidipa. Huh? Sidipa. My beloved daughter, Sidipa, my child. Mr. Hasegawa. I see. Saka is what turned Tsurumi into such a sad person. Was it all revenge? The man who killed Olga and Fina? Wilk, was it all to destroy Sidipa? His hopes and our future. If that really is his true goal, then I'm fucking killing him. If it was revenge I was after, and I had any number of chances to take it, I could have killed her in Karafuto, or back in Abashiri. I could have used our cannons to reduce that prison to a barren field. In the end, my goal is for Japan to flourish. Russia's southward advance in order to defend Japan from other countries. We need military funds to continue fighting. And on the side of that road we must travel, I simply have my own tiny personal memorial. Our comrades who are sleeping in Manchuria, Fina and Olga, who are sleeping in Vladivostok, my prayers for the soil in which they sleep to become part of Japan. But to turn aside from our road for the sake of my own personal memorial is absolutely out of the question. During the war with Russia, a great many Ainu soldiers fought and died bravely on the front lines. There were even Ainu who were awarded the Order of the Golden Kite. We can only value the extreme fact. Can we value only the extreme factions of the Ainu who plotted to break away from the Japanese, while ignoring the souls of those Ainu who chose to be a part of Japan, risk their lives to gain status in Japanese society? As a soldier, dividing Japan is something I can't abide. Having been entrusted by your father with the gold of Sidipa, you can choose a future with the Ainu and Japanese together. You're the only one who can atone for the sins of your father. 270 end. Fuck. Oh my god. Golden Kamuy, what the fuck have you done? God, if this gets adapted, holy fucking shit. This is gonna break the internet. It's just like, the whole moment with, when Hasegawa is revealed to be Tsurumi is like one of the quintessential moments of the whole entirety of Golden Kamuy, besides Walk dying. That was one of the quintessential moments of the entire manga. But this, holy fucking shit, this whole entire section just kind of blows out the water. This section was brilliant. It literally gives you everything. Like, it tells you pretty much fucking everything. And I kind of, as I said during the stream itself, I kind of don't trust Tsurumi's entire interpretation of the events, because this whole entire manga is being one massive unreliable narrator. It's kind of like the point of it all, because you believe one interpretation, you believe one perspective, and then when something happens, like, wait, what? Okay, shit. So then the entirety is actually not. So the entirety of this is actually not that at all. I get it now. But then something changes later on. You're like, fucking hell. But the way that Tsurumi was acting in this whole entire section gives me the vain hope that he might actually be genuine. Like, it is the fact that he lost his wife and daughter that actually has turned him into this person. But at the same time, he is one of those people that won't let Japan kind of fall either. So you understand the idea is that he still puts the need of others over the needs of himself, because the idea of the memorial being there is kind of a means to an end for the entire thing, rather than it being the sole purpose for his whole entire thing. No, it's just one means to an end. So we can still gather that Tsurumi is still Tsurumi at heart. He's actually not completely absolved of being Tsurumi. He's not Hasegawa at this point. Hasegawa died when his wife and daughter died. But at the same time, the idea of the memorial being a massive part of it all does kind of keep that whole entire part of him alive. It kind of tells us that there is a heart within that whole entire, very, very, very rough exterior. Konnichiwa, Genki desu ka? How are you doing today? How are you doing? So yeah. In all honesty, it was brilliant. The whole entire section was great. I just have the utmost respect for this whole entire manga for actually just blowing everything out of the water once again, because god fucking damn it, did it actually just my brain, it's all over it's gone. My brain's gone. The whole entire thing with the reveal of Sophia not being the actual culprit, but rather Wilk being the culprit of what happened with Hasegawa, technically speaking, as well, was also the icing on the cake. The whole entire section, because it kind of puts in perspective. Originally, it was like the idea of Surumi kind of being like a massive part of why a lot of these things are actually happening. But now it's Wilk. Wilk's kind of like the spearhead of a lot of things to why it's actually happening. And I kind of like that. It's one of those things that, again, he's always been the forefront of the narrative. I mean, saying that he is a massive part of it is kind of an understatement. He is literally the part of it. But you get what I mean? Like, the idea of his actual true intentions, the way he actually doesn't react, and actually the way he does act, does actually kind of then make his importance even more so. But then, like, he could in theory be interpreted to be the antagonist of the whole entire series, because theoretically speaking, in doing so, granted it could in theory be that Surumi's just doing that just because he's Surumi, but him saying to Acidopa that you have to atone for your father's, the atonement for your father's sins is on your shoulders, gives me the perspective that, theoretically speaking, what has Wilk done in this whole entire manga, besides basically completely fuck over his own daughter in the process? It kind of tells us, like, the actual, like, length that what money can do to a person, the idea of what it can do to people as well. I mean, granted, still, it's one of those age-old things. It's not like it's not a hot take to say that money can destroy people, but at the same time, even more so here, the idea of the gold being the forefront of the entire thing, now, it kind of takes on perspective that you don't really want it to be solved. You don't want the code to be solved at all, because at this point in time, there's no sense that the gold being found and actually then being divided or anything like that will bring absolution or bring any sort of closure, because at this point the entire thing's been sullied. It's been sullied completely to the point that it has no meaning. That we're just fighting an endless battle that was caused by what is otherwise kind of like originally probably intentions to actually save an entire culture that was actually probably going to be forgotten about, which is still a very pivotal point of this whole entire narrative, but it has actually morphed now into this whole different picture completely. Pardon the pun. So yeah, it's depressing to kind of think about it, because considering that Acidopa doesn't deserve any of this, she hasn't caused any of this to happen. She's literally a victim of circumstance. She's a victim of being born from the actual parents of Wilk, because she has done nothing wrong. She doesn't want any bloodshed. She doesn't shed any blood either via her own hands. But the world is causing her to kind of go down this route to the point that it might, in theory, completely change her, to the point that we might see a metamorphosis of her character very similar to actually what happened to Surumi. That's the kind of fear I have, is the idea of the metamorphosis that might actually happen to Acidopa at this point. Sugimoto might save her from the whole entire perspective, but still, it's the idea of actually how much they're actually at a distance from each other kind of causes the whole entire perspective to kind of slightly wane a bit. The idea that I believe that he will get her too late one day and she's not the person he knew before, which will be fucking depressing, but that's the kind of perspective I'm getting from Golden Kamuy at this point. But my god, these chapters, I could not read this weekly. I would have literally lost my mind. This is like, it's pivotal that you read this all in one go, because fucking hell, it is intense. So yeah, I'll read hopefully at some other point, maybe this week or next, 71 to 80 as well, and I think it's then either we're getting towards 300 or we're actually at 300 already, and actually then we'll just get to caught up completely, hopefully at some point. But yeah, I mean, my god, this is some intense shit. So until next time, as always, actually have in theory been the driver. I say in theory, I always say in theory for some reason. You actually have enjoyed this whole entire show, and as always, then do leave a like. It does help quite a bit. If you have then enjoyed this whole entire show as a whole, then as always, do leave a sub as well, because both do help quite a lot. If you have then enjoyed this whole entire show as a whole, then as always, do leave a follow on Twitter as well. Both do help quite a lot. Both will then tell you when streams are live and any other streams I do as well. So until next time, with some more Gon Kamuy the manga series. I'll see you guys then. Bye for now.